The 5 reasons I would never listen to Kanye's bully. What's up, word? Your boy Charles Brown back again talking facts. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe, hit that notification bell. Keep sending those cash outs to CLBMG. Join that membership, and all you buying that merch down below. Gang, listen. So I want to do this, but what I want to do is something different. First of all, we ain't been in the car in a while, so salute to being back in the whip, right? But I want to talk about this Kanye West Bully album, and what I want to do right here is I know that there's a lot of anticipation and a lot of noise around this album. A lot of people are very excited, so I'm going to do something that I don't normally do. I'm going to do the last part first, right? Just so I can shake off all the Kanye fans who want a quick fix and they can go about their business so they're not sitting here for 15, 20 minutes telling me to hurry up, all right? So what I'm going to do, I'm going to give you the 5 reasons right up front, and then I'm going to have the conversation as to why I got to that conclusion. Now, I have 5 reasons. I really got more than 5 reasons, but my 5 reasons I would never listen to Kanye West's Bully album is number 5. The original cover art was a swastika, and we're going to get into that later. Number 4, the usage of AI on the project. All right. Number 3 is his racist and bigoted ideologies and the people that he ran with. Number 2, I believe that Kanye had little next to nothing to do with this album. And I believe that the apology that he gave was just to get the album out. I don't know if creatively he was really involved with this album at all, if any, besides his voice. And a lot of that can be used as AI, this and the third. So I don't think that the apology was real enough for me to forgive the project in and of itself. And I don't think it's creatively a work of Kanye. It's just too many people on it, and people are asking to get off, and there's things, this, that, and the third, but we'll get into all that. And number one is I just don't want to. I said for at least the last year that I was not going to be listening to anything from Kanye West going forward, whether it's right, wrong, good, bad, or indifferent. And the culture almost tricked me into wanting to hear this. The culture almost got me. You know what, Charles? You got to do it for the culture. And I feel like there's a lot of things I don't listen to, even though the culture is going to be listening to them. And I don't know if this record is culturally significant as it should be. I don't think the culture is waiting on this record as it would for a Jay-Z or even a Drake or a Kendrick or any of those people, even a Joey Badass. I don't think the culture. I think Kanye has a lot of fans, but I don't know if they're the culture. And I don't think me listening to Bully is going to be culturally something I need to have a discussion about in barbershops. I don't think that's what that's going to be. Kanye has a ton of fans, but I saw after the album dropped, and I saw these glowing reviews. These guys are in tears. They're saying this thing is the best thing they literally have ever heard. And I started to go on a mission to click, because when I think it was Kirko who posted that the album was out, and it really wasn't fully out yet, they were still mad about that. But I started to read these glowing reviews about how amazing this album was. And I started to click and see where they were from. And most of these accounts, I want to say out of every 10 accounts, 8 of them were from overseas. And out of those 8, 7 of them were from Africa. So you had a bunch of people from Mexico and Morocco and all over the place. But Kanye West love is very, very specific to out of the country. Now, you do have a few Ye fans that are based in America. I will give you that. It's a lot of them, but for the most part, the ones that are doing the commenting and the ones that are giving this album the glowing reviews, most of those are overseas. Most of those are in the continent of Africa. And I did see quite a few in the UK and a lot in some Middle Eastern countries. But what I'm saying is most of the people going nuts over Kanye West right now, young people, people from foreign countries, and it's a lot of people of color per se, okay, that are from those countries. But for the most part, when they're in America, a lot of those are a lot of white kids, okay? So at the end of the day, he has a very eclectic fan base, but most of them are young people. People my age are not trying to hear Kanye. We still hold him to the standards that one apology in the Wall Street Journal is not going to erase. And I think that one apology in one paper is not enough to say we're back on the Kanye train. I know a lot of people feel the same way. So if you're a Kanye fan and you just came in for the quick fix, there you go. You got your quick fix. I want to say that may have taken 2 minutes of your time. You can leave so we can have this conversation. But I got some information here I want to talk about. Just different things about the album, this, that, and the third. And the reason I'm talking about it is, for one, it is a cultural release, but not that I got to hear it. I stood on business before with Kanye. I said, years I've been saying I'm not listening to Kanye West. And anytime I've broken that, I've been disappointed anyway. And as he ratcheted up the rhetoric and got worse and worse as a human being, with the White Lives Matter shirt, standing with Candace Owens and all these different things where he didn't care, he just got more and more just adverse and just obnoxious and rude and very disrespectful to his own people, who he barely apologized to in that that New York Times supposed apology, which was nothing but a PR stunt. Because as soon as he got that apology off and it got to the right people, he was able to once again book U.S. shows, because no one in the U.S. was booking Kanye. And I told you that I know a lot of people feel like Kanye has all this unlimited money, but at some point, when your expenses are really, 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 really high and your money's coming in really, 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 really slow, at some point, a guy like Kanye, that is literally the only thing that's going to get through to him. If Kanye's super rich, Kanye's doing whatever he wants to do. I think there's an issue where all of these abandoned mansions and all these homes that he have and all this money he pays out and all the flying around the world and not a lot of money coming in, I think it started to affect his bottom line. I keep telling you that Kanye did a literal Bitcoin scam. He did a literal Bitcoin scam last year that is millions upon millions within seconds were lost by everybody who except the people who ran the scam with Kanye. I believe it was something like, I don't know, 3 billion. Like it was something crazy, 300 million or some billion. I don't remember offhand, but I know it was quite a bit of money that Yeezy coin scam generated. Okay, so that's one thing that'll let you know there may be trouble in paradise with Ye. That's why Ye cleaned up his act. Ye all of a sudden got an apology when he was super defiant all the way up to the apology. I told you that the original Bully cover was supposed to be a swastika. Kanye West bought a Super Bowl ad and was selling t-shirts with swastikas on them, shirts and whatever else with swastikas on them for $20, right? After a while, he had pushed the shock value of this thing so far, and people started to be, he was so toxic, and he was untouchable by any standard or any metric of business. It got to a point they started doing fake shows. I told you about the fake show in Africa, in South Africa. I covered that show for about 4 months. I said, this has never happened. It seems like a scam. And voila, it ended up being a scam. Kanye had to distance himself from it. And the guy that was throwing it was a well-known scammer over there in South Africa. And the show, in essence, was booked by Kanye on a promise of money. So you got to understand, Kanye did a Bitcoin scam, and he allowed the guy in South Africa to, I believe, the Munyaki group, something like that, right? He allowed that guy to use his name on the promise of millions later. The guy never paid him. So Kanye he promoted the show and then stopped promoting it, and the show didn't happen. So you're telling me that Ye did a Bitcoin scam and let the show go forward in South Africa under his name. He also had 2 or 3 shows canceled. He had that festival. I can't remember where it was, but he had a festival in Slovakia or something like that, somewhere over there, and he had that show canceled because the people in the community, the people of that city, put a petition together. They didn't want Kanye there because they think Kanye is a racist, right? So that show it was a 2 or 3 day festival, and that show got canceled. So then he had the other show in Brazil. Before he even got there, they said, if you say Hail Hitler one time, we're going to arrest you. They didn't even give him a chance to try to do the show. They canceled that show, and he had another show canceled. He ended up doing China and I think Korea or something else, and maybe one more, but he wasn't getting a lot of shows, gang. So you got to understand, that all of that is backstory as to why he apologized and cleaned up his act, right? So by the time Sneeko and Myron and these guys did Hail Hitler in that nightclub in Miami, by that time, Kanye was already trying to reverse his image. He had already started laying the groundwork because he was going to release that apology. in that newspaper, which is the Wall Street, the New York Times. A lot of white businessmen use that. A lot of guys that do really big business, they wake up in the morning and they start reading that paper. So there's nowhere else better to put that apology, the so-called apology to the Jewish people, and the back. It had a one sentence backhanded apology to black people, but it was more so to the Jewish people and the business people, that it was a dog whistle to say Kanye West is back open for business. So he put that in the New York Times. I'm sorry if I said, I think I said the Wall Street Journal. I think it was the New York Times, and he put that thing in that paper, and out of nowhere he booked the LA show, and he got 2 UK shows booked. And he got another US show on the way that they're talking about booking. So out of nowhere, the guy that couldn't get a phone call back with the one apology, now he has an album that everybody wants, all of his fans can openly praise and say it's great, right? We have no push, almost zero pushback on Twitter about this guy whatsoever dropping the album. There's no pushback at all. I barely see anybody having any issue with Kanye West right now. And all it took was one apology in the paper. One. Now, we forgot all the rhetoric about slavery. We forgot all the people that he said their names. We forgot all the people that he screenshot their text and put that on his page for the whole world to judge. All the people that he talked mad shit about. All the people that he said he'll never do business with again. Especially Jewish people. This guy has so many tweets about Jewish people, it's not even funny. He had so many tweets about black people and people in the business. You can't even recall. You couldn't even go through all them tweets because it was so many. You ran out of time to discuss them, because before he would have one completely finished, he was writing another one. He was on overload. None of that stuff is being discussed no more. Kanye terrorized Twitter for at least, I'm not even exaggerating, at least 10 years. Of nonsense, all the way back when he was telling Jay, yo, bro, don't kill me, da-da-da-da-da. Start talking about Jay-Z, Beyonce, and everybody else. Remember when he had that floating stage and he had that breakdown overseas and he had to stop his tour? Remember when Kim Kardashian got robbed and he had to leave and run off the stage around that time, right? So that was about 7 years ago, if I'm not mistaken. End of the day, Kanye was terrorizing and being a complete menace to people of all races, walks, and colors, and creed. And out of nowhere, he did this one apology, which I find to be it was disingenuous to me. And he's turned his hat around. He was very defiant about the MAGA hat, took the MAGA hat off, can't find it. He had a Ku Klux Klan outfit on, the white and the black, right? He had both of them. And you fools in my comments trying to tell me that shit was originated in Africa, this, now to get the fuck out of here. He was wearing it as a Ku Klux Klan outfit, okay? So we're not going to rewrite what Kanye was doing. Kanye was a very awful person in every single kind of way. And he ended up blaming it on his car crash. He ended up blaming it on his I believe his frontal lobe. And he said he had bipolar. Well, we was telling Kanye that 20 years ago. Everybody been saying for years Kanye's bipolar, but it was working for a while because he was using it for the culture. After a while, he started using it against the culture, and he started doing everything against what we stood for. So right now, Kanye is good money all over again because of the one well-conceived. Some PR firm wrote that apology. I'm just going to be honest. There's no way Kanye sat down. He ain't even able to write a cohesive thought. He ain't even able to. Do you hear this guy speaking right now? Kanye did not write that apology under no circumstance. So and they're good. I said it before. They're a very good PR firm because they not only got in front of the apology, all the media, print, everything. They started to reverse the narrative in a whole lot of ways about Kanye. Somewhere down the line, Kanye said, okay, enough is enough. I cannot continue to go down this path. You guys need to help me. Because he was doing a piss poor job of redefining himself and redefining his image. He hired somebody. And now they're doing an excellent job. This apology, he's putting all the pieces in place. He even came out with more cohesive words. He's not on Twitter. He's not saying anything. This guy, they said, we'll do this, but you have to be quiet. And Kanye has not tweeted shit. He's been quiet. Because Kanye money, like I told you, it ain't right. Something's going on. He's not going to tell you. Remember that time he went on Twitter and he begged Kim to help him out. Like it was something about he was in a hole and he needed help, right? That was a long time ago. This is when he was first with Kim. He's not going to do that this time and tell everybody he's messed up and he's broke. That's not going to work in your PR strategy. So Kanye has got off Twitter. You don't see nothing. He got off Instagram. You're not seeing nothing about Kanye unless it's to promote a show or this album, right? So I say all that to say, right? Kanye released Bully. I even did videos on, do you think Kanye is going to release Bully? And I kept showing you videos. I did another video saying, for the 5th time, Bully has been postponed. This thing almost as bad as Iceman, right? But the funny thing is, Kanye released it and still, even when he released it, he was still working on it. Released it 2 days ago. He was supposed, when he was supposed to release it 2 days ago, he postponed it again. Everybody was waiting on it. They had all this stuff lined up, this, that, and the third. People was waiting out at somewhere, wherever the hell it was at. And they were like, yeah, it's not going to happen. He's still tweaking it. And even when it dropped, people were like, yo, you still need to tweak this. They were like, I love this Kanye, but the mix still off. So this is a guy, I don't understand how we still get here with these projects that he's still tweaking at the last minute. But maybe that's part of the bipolarism that he got going on, according to him. Let me read this article and we'll have this conversation. But I will not, but I said all that to say, I will not be listening to Kanye West's Bully. All right? Kanye West's Bully album divides the Ye fan base after the streaming release by Gabriel Braz Navarez for HotNewHipHop.com. Now, this is the thing. When it dropped, they're saying it's divided, right? And I see some people, I do see people with negative comments and this, that, and the third. What's the boxer, Ryan Garcia? He came up and he was like, yeah, this ain't it. I don't think this is good, Kanye. He don't have it no more, this, that, and the third. I do see people saying like, critical things of that nature. But for the most part, gang, these guys are out in front of this album. They're making this thing look like sliced bread, gang. This is the best thing since Jesus came. I'm telling you, these accounts on Twitter, they are making this thing. They're making you're like, really? It's really this good? They're painting this thing, gang, like it's Picasso. It's Kanye is back. The soul samples. Now, maybe I've been looking in the wrong spaces, and maybe there is a whole rash of people saying it's trash. Or maybe the only people really listening to it are the people that really want to hear it. And maybe that's why it sounds like it's so many people saying it's so good. Let me finish this article. Kanye West Bully is finally out on platforms like Spotify and Apple. And debates around AI, sonic direction, and politics abound. Kanye has been through a lot of ups and downs in the 2020s, and they have all culminated into this new album, Bully. Following his anti-Semitism apologies, alleged reversion of AI, because I remember he said, I did a video on this one too. He said it was 50% AI. I can't respect that. You're a genius. You're supposed to be a genius. Shouldn't be no AI on here at all. Let me continue. It is reversion of AI vocals on the record and recent concert announcements. We finally have the official version of the LP on streaming services. In typical Ye fashion, through the responses to this new project, though the responses to this new project have been divisive, to say the least. See, I haven't seen all of the divisiveness. I told you, I don't know why, but I'm seeing a lot of people really excited about this album. Let me continue. Some skeptics still believe it came into play. Some people still believe there's AI on it. And I don't believe he completely reversed all that. I think something's going on with Ye, and I think he kept the AI on there. But let me continue. You're going to say, how, Charles? You never listen to it, but I just know Kanye be bullshit. Let me continue. Others express more critical perspectives on Kanye's vocal delivery. Maybe that's why he's using AI, because he don't have the vocal dexterity no more. He might be huffing so much of that shit, he can't keep his breath that long. That's probably why he did AI in the first place. Kanye might be like physically messed up. All right, now maybe we'll see when he goes out to perform, but at the end of the day, Kanye might not have the breath control he need to continue recording like he's supposed to. And that's why he's using the AI. Who knows? Let me continue. Others expressed more critical perspectives on Kanye's vocal delivery, although other fans feel like he sounds rejuvenated. As for the production side of things, this is what is usually the most consistent and compelling in any Ye album. Fans seem to agree regarding Bully, but there are some caveats. Some fans think the instrumentals are too bare, short, or vapid, whereas others found the atmospheric and more stripped-back approach to be very earnest, nostalgic, and engrossing. So it's just all over the place. People don't even know what they want anymore, gang. It's almost impossible to put out something these days because some people gonna say I loved every minute of it. Some people gonna say I don't know why you did this. Even your fans, it's so many people to try to please. You can never please them all. It's impossible. But let me continue. As for the oh no, I'm sorry. Fans are still picking their favorite tracks from the album, whether it's the Travis Scott assisted Fathers or cuts like the All the Love with Andre Troutman. It just came out, so we're sure these takes and discussions have a lot of time left to age, evolve, and settle. Other fans have been discussing the news that one of Kanye West's bully producers wants out. Via a message board shared on external social media platforms, James Blake revealed he asked for Ye and his team to remove his production credit from the closer, this one here. He said that the officially released version of that song does not resemble what he worked on with Kanye years ago and doesn't want to take undue credit. Some fans are confused by this, but most of them are more surprised that this is about removing a credit, not adding one. After all, debacles like these are usually around the latter circumstance. Some guys are greedy and they'll just take that credit. Some guys have integrity. If I listen to the song and I'm like, we did this back in 2023. I didn't have, this ain't the snare, the kick, this ain't the sample, this ain't even the damn hi-hat. None of this is what I worked on. I don't need no credit on this. There's very few people that would do that. A lot of people die for this Kanye credit. They'll eat this up. But James Blake is like, nah, I don't want to do that. So yeah, he took it off, and kudos to him for being honest. All right, let me continue. Nevertheless, early reactions to Kanye West's bully don't seem to have changed much with this official streaming release because this stuff came out before. A lot of this stuff people had already heard. Some of the stuff. All in all, though, one thing is clear from most fan reactions. That is, this is at the very least a first step towards redemption for Ye, considering this decade's track record so far. Like I told you, 10 years of nonsense. All right. So let me get you a little backstory on this album so we can know what I said about the swastika. Bully is the 12th studio album by the American rapper Kanye West. It was released on March 28th, 2026 through Yeezy and Gamma, and is West's first solo studio album in 4 years, following 2022's Donda 2. Which got he got sued for a couple of those songs on Donda 2, and I think the person won. I'm not sure, but I believe he got ordered to pay something to the guys that sued him. I believe it was over a beat, maybe 2 beats, some shit like that. Let me continue. West produced it alongside his music director Andre Troutman, the legendary trackster 88 Keys, and James Blake, among others. Troutman also appears as a guest alongside Travis Scott, CeeLo Green, Peso Pluma, and Don Toliver, with additional vocal appearances from Nine Vicious and Ty Dolla $ign, which I'm sure Ty Dolla $ign did that back in the day, and yeah, he kept it because him and Ty Dolla $ign allegedly aren't seeing eye to eye right now, which always happens with Kanye, which is very frustrating about Kanye. Let me continue. West began working on Bully following the release of Vultures 2 and announced the album in September 2024, planning to release it on June 15, 2025. He surprise released multiple work in progress versions via X on March 18th. These were accompanied by a short film, Bully 4. No, I'm sorry, Bully 6. I don't know what that shit is. Bully 4, 6, whatever. Directed by West and edited by Hype Williams. It stars West's son, Saint, who fights New Japan Pro Wrestling wrestlers with a toy mallet. Sonically, Bully resembles West's work on 808s and Heartbreak and My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy. It extensively relies on sampling and interpolations, and West mostly sings instead of rapping. Oh, brother, I don't want to hear a whole bunch of that. I'm sorry. Most of West's vocals in the original and physical releases were artificial intelligence-generated audio deep fakes, and he would later re-record most lyrics and vocals of his own. Now, we don't know if he really did that. Ye said he was going to do that. Who knows if he did? His fans could tell you that. I would never know until somebody tells me, but I won't be listening to it because I already refuse. I've checked out on Kanye West. I don't really think that he's really a part of his culture no more. He's a very talented and gifted person that made some really good music, but the stuff he's making now, very uncultural. It has no balance and no weight because he doesn't He doesn't live in the culture anymore. Kanye's in foreign lands doing foreign shit with foreign women. He's doing whatever he wants to do. He's not in this culture no more. Doesn't give two shits about the culture. He ran down too many roads with too many people that I can't condone that you cannot come back for the Nick Fuentes and all these weird ass people that you're running with. So I really don't care what you got to say because it ain't got really nothing to do with me. Let me continue. Following, Bully 5 received Bully 6 received mostly positive reviews from music critics with praise for its production, though some found its presentation lackluster. Following the short film, West delayed Bully several times while promoting it with 2 extended play previews in June 2025. He first released the album on physical formats, which was criticized for its poor quality. Shortly after, he premiered the album at a listening party in Inglewood, which was live streamed on YouTube. Hours following its removal, Bully was subsequently released to streaming services with significant revisions, including the removal of most AI-generated vocals and a different track list. So they're basically saying that he did remove the AI and he changed the track list. He is set to embark on a world tour to support Bully from April to August 2026. On March 16th, West tweeted an image, this is back in 2025, of a red Nazi swastika against a black background and claimed it was his newest album cover art. Several sources reported that this was the cover for Bully. He also tweeted the Schultz and Sappho insignia. I know I butchered that word, but I did my best. Both in white and red variants, and claimed it was the new Sunday service choir logo. He quickly deleted the tweets, and both YouTube upload and final album feature West's son on the cover. So right there it tells you that he used the swastika for the cover of Bully. That was supposed to be his original inspiration. So I definitely don't want to hear that. And he took a lot of the songs out where he was going that route. But I'm telling you right now, he took whatever songs and references out to the Nazi regime and this, that, and the third, because he finally hit a brick wall of money. It ain't because he had to change of heart. It ain't because he didn't know he had bipolar, this, that, and the third. All of that stuff is smoke and mirrors. Kanye had a change of mind, actually, because he's running out of money. The money's getting low, and he got a lot of things he need to pay for, a lot of things he need to do. So now he's back on track. Boom, the album's out. You guys are buying the vinyl, this, that, and the third, and he's selling really well. He's probably gonna pace on to sell what G.O.O.D did, right? Now the end of the day is people can openly go and buy this stuff now again. They can openly show that their vinyl came in and this, that, and the third. And they still late shipping shit. They started shipping orders from November, and people was like, wait a minute. I ordered my shit in August. How you gonna ship November 1st? So it's a whole lot of, it's still a mess. It's still nonsense going on with Kanye West. But at the end of the day, I don't want to hear it. I've gave up on West. I don't think he matters in this culture no more. He's still going to be culturally relevant for the things he did in the past. And he still made some really great albums and some great songs. But I think that Kanye West, with the AI, with the people writing all this music, with all these producers, with all these delays, all this tinkering of the shit, when he puts it out, he still want to tinker with it. This, that, and the third. He's indecisive. It's too much for me to say, I want to hear your music. Not to mention all the disrespect to my people that he said when he said those things about Harriet Tubman and Rosa Parks and whoever else. All of that stuff, that slavery was a choice. I'll never forgive that shit. So you take all that and combine it together, it leads to, I don't want to hear your music. Don't care what you got to say. I'm sure somebody is excited and waiting for that album, but it ain't me. All right, man, I'm out of here, man. That's it. That's the 5 reasons. It's just get in the comments. Let me know what you think, man. CLBMG. Head on over to black-yeti.com. Let them know who sent you. They ship all over the continental U.S. Down in my links, I got some affiliate links. Lock in, tap the Temu link or whatever down there floats your boat. All right, I got the Patreon up and running. I got 17 exclusive episodes already on Patreon right now that if you're not a member, you haven't seen. And I update that Patreon daily. So make sure you lock in, right? Either it's going to be episode from YouTube that I already put up that you may have not seen, or it'll be a brand new exclusive episode to the Patreon. All right, lock into that. And we got a new video called Peanut Butter Tim's is off the What Project, all streaming services. Get in that video, get in the comments, let me know what you think. It's on my page. All right, I'm out of here, man. I'm gonna catch you on that flip side. Peace.
Look, mission impossible to drop a few lines without dropping old times when Southern Hill was still a gold mine. When pistol grips was my shit and I sold mine. When Alias was not a show and they told mine. Elevate your mind with high quality THC infused products. BlackYeti.com. Black-Yeti.com.
C.O.O.D.
Get my coat, get my sheepskin, grab my wallet, get my pocket knife, and get that hat right there. We out. Grab my pocket knife too. Let's go. When I first came to the city, niggas didn't believe me. I just wanted to join a team and throw assist pass easily. 6 man off the bench, alley-oop pass freely. Suit up for one game and hope a scout might see me. But nah, niggas is greedy, wasn't rocking with him. Unplugged the scoreboard, put a lock on the gym. Told me to power forward, point guard at the rim. And left me with no center and a ball full of phlegm. Not knowing that I'm a dog, a Rottweiler within, with the heart of a pit bull that don't bark for pretend. My bites cut deep, break the bone and the skin. With the level of hustlenomics you do not comprehend. So first I took a block down on the west side end, and then secured a spot with some goons and some kin. And then sent out some flyers, let the games begin. And in 6 months time, the city like that's him. Oh yeah, he the one that moved the hustle to the burbs. And yeah, he the one that knocked the hustlers off the curb. And yeah, he the one that set up shop without a word. And he the one that got it cracking, and all he did was rapping by the Hooters. I kept killers from being shooters. Put a mic in a thug's hand, now he loyal like Pats fans. Take a man off the streets past the needles and crack cans. Promise mama to keep him safe, then put some food in his face and he'll kill for you. But I don't need him for that. Click like, click share, tell them bitches we back. Share the whole location, tell them niggas where we at. Cause we out here, we ain't the cheese, we the trap.